Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. Before we get into the run itself, I'm going to have the question of the day be the first thing this time, and that's because it's a semi-relevant one. But recently, quite a few people have been suggesting various silly ideas for runs for me. So, question of the day, what Mirror Dungeon runs do you want to see me do? This can be anything from like, oh, you just want to see me do more of like a bleed run, or you can have more specialized options, like say, oh, I only want you to use these units, as long as you've got, a certain theme to it. And just leave your answer in the comments below. If we get a bunch of them, I might I might put them all on like a wheel and like spin the wheel to see which ones I do. All that I ask is if you do just do a bunch of random identities, ideally have like a theme to it. I don't know exactly like what that would mean per se, but just have a theme to it. Don't just suggest identities for no reason. Even if it's a meme theme, I think that's always great. And if you have already suggested a run recently, do not worry. If I've liked the comment, then I'll have seen it and I will add it, so no need to repeat. And yeah. But this run today is going to be one of those ones which I have gotten a comment on, and I thought was a pretty logical run idea. That being effectively an all associations run. We've got one sinner from each of the 6 associations we have identities for so far. Those being, we've got Zweigregor for the 2nd association. We've got She Heathcliff for the 4th association. He's the only one that isn't a 3-star. That's because there is no She 3-stars yet. And even though logically the person you'd picked for She is probably She Dawn, because She Dawn's, like the actual, like, Section 5 director for She, but Dawn's got to be there for the 5th association, Sanct Dawn. 6th association, Liu Ishmael. 7th association, 7 Faust. And 10th association, DHE Rodion. So we'll just run with it. We'll run it in number order, why not? Doesn't mean DHE is going to be the last one added, but that's fine. We've used her a bunch. We'll get her next floor. Yeah, this run idea was suggested by Frizu101 in yesterday's video. And I have noticed I got a couple other suggestions, I think, the video before that I thought would be funny, like doing a fist-only run where we're only using the units that, use fists. Or like just running all the units that have an attack with suppress in the name. Because there's a total of 4 different units that have an attack with suppress in the name for some reason. Both the LCCB units, Rabbit Heathcliff and Zwei. Actually, Zwei Rodion might as well, but there's also LCCB Rodion, so it'd only be 4 units either way. Maybe there's more that I'm forgetting. Yeah, those are just some funny joke ideas, and I do like that idea. We're kind of going into a bit of like a dead zone this next month or two. Because it's gonna be, we're on like the proper build up to Kanto 5 now. We've gotten Refraction Railway 2, which was kind of like the last big thing we were expecting in between seasons. So there's not going to be too much new content beyond, of course, every other week we're going to get our new banners, most likely. Hopefully, eventually, we're finally going to get Farm Watch and possibly Sangye. Still holding on hope, of course. And there still is the Walpurgis Knot Festival, which is supposed to be October for, like, Halloween. We'll probably hear about that, like, in, like, 2 weeks or something. I don't know, it depends on if it'll be, like, all of October. It'll probably be, like, 2 weeks. Probably, like, the 2 last weeks of October. Maybe, like, 2 weeks of October and then, like, 1 week in November. Something like that. Could make sense. So the funny thing with doing a build that's all associations is the fact that there is, like, very little synergy between the people we're using. Each association has its own things it focuses on, and they really do not overlap too much beyond, the fact that they're all pretty good damage dealers. Also, if I wanted to, I could have gone for a 7 Otis, but went for 7,000 instead since that's the recent one. He's just slowly killing himself. Excellent. And down they go. Now we just get 2 events. It's always nice when we get a first floor where we only have to do 2 fights. I love my ego gifts after all. Even if, like, we don't really look for any, we're not looking for anything in particular. This is something we do want, though. Anything that's very generic, like this with 15% more damage to single targets, that's super good for this team. Oh, or something like this, that's for sure. If we can win, ooh, you're gonna need to get both of these, and you've got the 70% chance of heads. Good job. There we go. Golden urn. That's another. So far, we've gotten a lot of good general uses. Starting new gift, I went for Carmela because it was just right there. I didn't like want to re-roll for anything, so I just went with, you know, that, since it is a very good ego gift, that's for sure. Bugs. They're really gonna bug me, aren't they? Not a very enthusiastic, but you know what you get it. Nice. Because it killed, she's gaining like the slash power next turn. Great. I'll barely use. I very barely use Zwei. Not Zwei. 7 Faust still. There's the defense level up for everyone. Such a funny effect. Okay, you have your slash power because you killed with this one. Yeah, after attack, target stagger defeat to gain haste and slash power up next turn. That's cool. We only have you up by 3, that's right. Because of the fact that I really just stick to using Grip Faust, because Grip Faust is super good for support. And just damage overall, really. Rupture is a status effect that really doesn't work well with teams that aren't built around Rupture, because you're not going to get it in high numbers unless you've got a lot of Rupture people. Like, stuff like Burn can be good on any team as long as you've got, like, a single non-Liu Gregor Burn unit. So you can actually get some burn count off. But that's definitely hard still. Gaining Poise doesn't help us that much. Lost Resonance for more Rupture. Gluttony or Pierce? I think we've got a little bit of Gluttony, a little bit of Pierce. We'll go for that then. We've got a bunch of defense level down. And let's see, what's the strat here? Probably this path. Looks good to me. And we can add you now, so now we've got the full team. Actually, if I really want to lean into the joke... There we go. 2, 4, 5, 6. And these 2 are there just to fill the gaps. It's close enough, 7 for 1 and 10 for 3. Since we don't have Hana or Trace yet. We're probably going to see at least one other association before the season ends. Since that's what they've been relying on so much for almost every single banner. The only Season 0 banner they've done that isn't, you know, one of those is R Corp and W Corp. Definitely makes sense. They're like other notable corps. There are other groups we already have a bunch of identities for, so having more for those makes sense. Profound, quite nice there. Inflicting a bunch of defense level down to that guy, who is going to get hit by another attack, I believe. Oh yeah, he's going to die to Gregor. Almost certainly. Yeah. Gregor's skill 2 is good. That's for sure. And now it's only one guy left. So we can probably just kill everyone this turn. It's looking like it. Yeah, I guess this is another run in a row where we're using DHE Rodion, but I mean, it's not like I've done it every single day since she released. I didn't do it for the Envy video. But I have been doing it every other video, just because I like it. It's funny. If we do get another identity, it's probably going to be Trace. Trace is the one we really... It's really surprising we haven't seen. Because we know Trace is we already know Trace's gimmick, and we already have a pretty decent chance as to how it's going to get translated into the game. Because Trace's gimmick is that they're just they're workshop people. They're the association that, like, ranks workshops and certifies, like, they're the one who manages. I don't think they manage patents exactly. I think patents are managed by the head. I guess maybe workshop patents are probably managed by Trace, but I think just Singularity patents are managed by head. Something like that. The difference can be strange in certain circumstances, though. There's certainly going to be some overlap. There's just more workshops. I think they should normalize just workshop groups disappearing randomly. We know quite a few of them, especially thanks to like Black Silence. We know the names of a lot of random workshops we know very little about. Stuff like Crystal Atelier is like all about guns. They're the ones used for the actual, or not Crystal Atelier, Atelier Logic. Crystal Atelier is something different. Atelier Logic being used for like Black Silence as guns, and also that's where Full Stop Office got their guns from, if you'll remember. Their like cutscene, Argalia's like, wow, bullets crafted from these guys, which is a very strange observation, but it makes a lot of sense when you realize it's just because he knows about Roland's guns already, and that's probably where he learned about it from. I guess not Roland's guns, but really Angelica. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. That is. Like stuff like we know Stigma Workshop is Burn. If we want more Burn that isn't Leo's, we can get like Stigma Workshop identities. So the people who did like stuff for Dawn offices. I guess we could just get Dawn office too, but like Stigma Workshop would also be another source of Burn. It really seems like Project Moon's finding a hard time getting, you know, Burn identities in the game. Same for Bleed, really. We're not getting any of those. Or Poise. There are some groups that already have those 3 status effects, especially like Bleed had the entirety of N-Corp stuff. Although only 4 of the 6 N-Corp identities actually had a decent Bleed focus. Dawn was Tremor and Sinclair was Burn, but more killing over anything. I think workshops would be cool. There's so many workshops, like... There's other ones that do like various like effects. Like I think Kuri was the ice workshop, I think. That's one you don't actually see in Ruina, but is mentioned in Distortion Detective. There's ones like Union Co. is one that is briefly mentioned in the art book for Ruina, and also is seen in a background, I think. And that one focuses on, you know, stuff that it's like actually like bionic weaponry, stuff like having like a 3rd arm. That's also super cool stuff. What if you did that for Greg, or what if you gave him like 2 mechanical right arms? Like, I think Rose Banner's super cool. I don't think we should get more Rose Banner stuff, though. I know people are like, oh yeah, Rose Banner Dawn eventually, possibly. And that is for like another Rose Banner Tremor, or no, another Rose Banner Rupture unit. Probably. If anything, but Rose Banner's already got 3 identities. I feel like minor groups really don't need more than 3 identities. Like, I think we're set on stuff like... I don't think, like, TLA deserves anything else, even though, like, Muriel would be funny. I mean, it would be Muriel Rodion, if anything, I guess. Possibly. Hard to say. The workshops are cool. And of course, above all else, I really want Ruina General Invitation groups, because they're, like, so underdeveloped and they're funny. If we can get another skill 3, why not? And then we don't really need charge. Decent chance Trades Association will be charge focused if they are going to be workshops. Or maybe boys. Because like smoke, steam, that kind of connection. We'll take off Gangrene. We've got some lust. That'll work. And now we fight Flash Lock. These are cyborgs, isn't it? No, it's right. It's Clippity Cloppity. Cyborgs are pride here, I think. I like how I say cyborgs as if these aren't, you know, both cyborgs. It's probably still easy enough to understand. Beat this guy up. We're gonna hit him with a bunch of gluttony attacks, because each gluttony attack we inflict gives him even more defense level down. And because we're gonna use Gregor's skill 2, which is a gluttony with 4 coins, followed by Faust, which is 3 coins. Oh, that's fine. It's only a little bit of damage. You're neutral to blunt. Yeah, this guy dies. Yeah, the attack from Sheath wasn't even needed. I do think next week we're either gonna get She stuff next banner, or we're gonna actually finally get like some of the remaining Season 2 stuff. Because I think it is about time for a farm watch, surely. But we'll see. Maybe they'll do like another teaser thing, because it seems like they only do teasers for actual like season identities. They stopped doing teasers starting with, what was it, Leo? Was it Liu Ishmael? Was that the one the week after Keikor Ponglu? I think it was. Because it was Liu Ishmael, and then afterwards it was Rhino, then Sync Dawn, and then yeah. And after Sync Dawn was Molar. More damage? We'll take it. So I think they just haven't done those teasers they do where it would just show the symbol, show a quote, and like a very like zoomed in image of the relative person. They did that for like all of season 1, and they did it up through Keikor Ponglu, and they just stopped doing it. Because they'd always do that like the Tuesday the week before, I believe. So if they do that, it would be tomorrow morning. And I feel like they might do that to build up like hype or something if it is going to be Farm Watch. Who knows? They're still, I assume PGS like just ended, I think, right? So they're probably like in the process of packing up, still heading back. Sounded like a lot of the actual PM workers themselves were in Japan for the event. So I don't know how much they've been doing. That's why there is no maintenance this week after all. I don't think there's any big bugs that need to be fixed. I think Rupture and Sinking are still bugged, right? Their number displays twice when it's actually just doing the normal damage. Sometimes. That's only a visual bug I've heard. Not an actual, like, doubling the damage you're dealing. It just makes it so it looks like you're doing significantly more. That's a really easy fight. Okay. You guys? This is the kind of run where it's like, of course it's going to be like easy. We're using a bunch of like super strong 3-stars. But it's the novelties there. It's a funny idea. And kill this guy, yeah. Simple enough. The fact that we're getting a lot of really good ego gifts for us too also is helping. Stuff like Carmilla, so they're all weakened. And like, doing 10% more damage to staggered people, so when they do get staggered, they die super quickly. More Tremor. Riveting. Oh, Ishmael again. We'll give Ishmael another skill 3. Why not? Pen of Nostalgia. Who's got Gloom here? You do, you do. Do you? I know you've got Pride, Lust, you might. I know these two do, if nothing else. Oh no, I meant to buy it. There we go. Prefer to load a poise on some of our gloomy people. Oh, well, yeah. A lot of people here do have gloom, which is not as great. The pendant really works best when there's only a couple people, possibly only one person with gloom, because otherwise it'll spread out the poise a little bit too much, and therefore they're not going to get a decent poise number. Not that they probably would either way, just because poise goes down really fast if you don't have a good way to build it up. That's not a cool animation for a Guardian. He just takes a cigarette break and just then kills his enemy after that. Ishmael's deck is also half composed of inner Elvis breaks now, so he's gonna be killing people really well, to put it simply. Oh yeah, these guys are dead. Shh. That's for sure. Oh, that was in sync between those two. Wow, that was stylish. By Gregor and Seven Faust, just kind of killing at the same time with their sword slashes in the opposite directions. Anime type finisher. So this is the question if we are ever going to get Mika identities. Because we are missing 2 Mikas. Maybe we'll have them as like... I mean, we might just straight up not get them. That's the thing to keep in mind. Kind of the issue with the fact that most groups in Runa are 3 people, but most banners in Limbus are 2 people. Just doesn't quite line up most of the time. You'll probably be fine, I believe in you. Okay, you can redirect. You can redirect one of these with excruciating stud each. And then you can salute this one and probably win. Okay, so other than neutral, which means we should probably just extreme edge you as well. Just to make sure we do some damage. What? And these guys are weak to blunt and sloth, I'm pretty sure. 2 HP each. Definitely seems like it. Yeah, Google. I actually haven't... I haven't checked. Is there an actual logo for Sank in the game? I know, like, we've got a logo for DHE. I'm thinking about this because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for the thumbnail, because I want to have, like, all 6 symbols there. And I've got symbols for all 5 of the other identities if I just use, like, the insight symbol in place of, DHE's logo, since DHE's logo is just the basic actual insight symbol, but without just the actual symbol on the cover of that book. Okay, now we go around killing all these guys. They'll die. We win. It's basic edition. Oh, crit, nice. She's got all the poise. Oh right, she gained poise with her passive. I forgot about that. Keep on forgetting that 7 Faust is like a semi-poise unit. Gaining poise equal to gaining poise potency, but no poise count. But if we can get like her to actually have some poise count, such as through the Pendant Nostalgia, I mean she can actually have like pretty good poise theoretically. Yeah, 3 wound. When attacking with a damage type target is weak or fatal, 2 gain 1 poise for each rupture on target before the attack. Yeah. That is very good. I'm gonna add that to the list of ideas for future runs. I feel like I could definitely capitalize off that if I start with something like a nebulizer. I mean, Guardian, nice. Guardian going last is a little unfortunate, but it still applies its effects next turn as well. That guy's already stagger plus. Oh, that's the guy who's... Oh, no, it's not. For a second I thought that was going to be the guy who Gregor was attacking. But no, Gregor's going to kill this guy. I'm not going to kill him because Guardian doesn't do that much damage, and they're resistant to slash. If he used a skill 2, it probably would have killed there, though. Maybe, if he got all ads. Thanks to skill 2, you know, being 4 coins, flexible suppression's just good. Oh yeah, that is another skill with suppression, its name. Does Sly Faust have suppress in any of her skills names? Probably. They really like using this word. I mean, probably because that's the term they use for, you know, besting an abnormality, but Still very strange. This'll be wobbly. Okay, defense level down. It's been stacked a little bit. Dissect target. We are going to dissect Nico alive, it would seem. Yep. Still never remember what Nico's gimmicks are, which is a shame, because they are super cool, unique, like, tremor stuff. Those, like, weird status effects he always inflicts onto himself. All because we don't get it with our Nico identity. Getting poison skills, gain more poison. That's using skills, though. Do more tremor. We'll take prejudice, sure. It's minor. But it's something. What's the play here? We get there no matter what. Probably go to bottom path then to maximize our fighting potential.
가능하면 다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면 좋겠어요.
God, I just started staring off into the distance. I don't know. Literally nothing was happening. I was just staring off. I forgot I was playing the game for a second there. Interesting. How long was that? How long was I blinking out? Surely just a couple seconds, yeah. Guess I'll see. I don't think it was too bad. It happens sometimes. I think there's definitely like a lot of times where I like drop my like commentary for a little bit, especially like I just have a strange like tendency to just not speak during loading screens. I'm like, oh, it's loading. I'll wait for it to finish loading before I keep on speaking. You know, if I'm talking about something like before the loading happens, I'll keep on talking about it, sure, but I'm not gonna like actively start a conversation or just start speaking in general. Not really a conversation. Kind of a conversation with myself that you're kind of just listening to, and I'm vaguely aware of your existence. These guys haven't taken too much damage. We'll be able to do something here. Not the most, though. Sure, we'll do it like that. Guy barely lives with 1 HP, but that's fine because he's gonna take some damage because that guy was being attacked by Heathcliff. Top left lives, I believe. Yeah. The rest die though. Which is a shame. If we just had Dawn go for top left instead of top middle, we would have been able to kill everyone in 1 turn's time. Well, either way, this guy's not living. This guy is not going to survive the winter. Yeah, I'm doing it now. I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait for it to finish loading before I keep on speaking. Charge from sloth resonances. Sure. We could theoretically get some benefit from charge if we used, like, egos. But I think that would be it. There's a couple charge-based egos that we have, but, like... Oh, you want me to use, ADD? Wow, he gains charge, which he can spend to heal himself off, which is the opposite of what you want if you're Heathcliff. I guess we should probably let him get beaten up a bit. We'll do it next floor. Because of the Starlight rewards, everyone heals far too much for him to have any decent chance of staying low HP. I did actually see someone, I feel like I saw someone talking about DHA Rodion's sound design, which I was very glad to hear because it is something I mentioned, and it is something I do pay attention to quite a bit with identities. I don't know if I mentioned it a lot, but I definitely like... This game's just got such great, like, hit sound effects. They're always so, like, powerful, but, like, unique, each, like, group, I guess. Like, they've all got their, like, own unique touch. That's for sure. Like, I remember the one recently that really stuck out to me was Warp Rodion, or no, Warp Ryoshu. Rodion, no, God. Oh, sure. All the Sinner's blood, Heathcliff. You don't need your blood. Give us slightly more cost.
이거
Not the
봐.
most this late on, but
과정은
it'll be
어쨌든
something.
결과는 좋잖아.
I'm gonna say. But yeah, just the fact
현장에서
that
직접
Warp
봤죠.
Rodion, no, Warp Ryoshu, their names both start with R and are vaguely similar with like Y's occasionally.
늦으면
You call her
베키랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Rhodia instead of Rodion. Warp Ryoshu and her like little like weird like kind of like I don't even know how to describe it. It sounds like a hollow tube or something, or like a metal pipe.
맞는 거야.
I love it. It sounds. DHA Rodion also has great sounds with her attacks. Very like powerful. Liu, of course, very like fiery type sounds.
시원한걸?
A little hard to tell when they're all attacking at once, but like Seven Association got like kind of like a semi like techy kind of sound. I guess you can describe it as. It sounds very like mechanical,
그래.
but not like a
관찰은 끝났습니다.
play kind of way. Like not the attacks. I guess the wind up itself sounds like they're winding up attacks like in a very like clean way. The Vise seem pretty like heavy, given the fact that they do just kind of use big swords. That's for sure. And like she is very like visceral sounds, I guess you could say. Snakes again. I feel like I'm fighting the snakes so much recently. I've been giving Ishmael another skill. Oh, we can get Curriculum Vitae for a charge. No, I'll wait. Who knows? We might be able to get Ishmael a fifth skill 3 if we get lucky next floor. It's certainly possible.
가능하면 다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면 좋겠어요.
Yeah, dominating. That's good to see. But that's fine. You're not gonna get hit. You don't really need to worry about insight too much if you know Rodion's not gonna be getting hit at all. Rise new. Look at analysis, no. Flying sword maybe? I guess yeah, flying sword's a slightly better one. Go for that. Flexible suppression left arm.
순식간에 끝내죠.
We clash the left arm, or no, we clash the right arm and we just one-side attack the left arm since the right arm's the only one attacking this turn, and the other guy's just defending, so we ignore him as he just kind of stands there in the foreground, very translucent.
뭘 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가
Which is like very relatable. Ooh. Little close. We should be fine though, yeah. Oh, is it gonna stagger? Aw. Did it? Oh, it did, yeah, she got the plus coin boost. So now next turn she's gonna be even more powerful. As she uses her plus coin boost on her inner gate elbow strike. Yeah. Full expression can definitely win a clash. If IQD doesn't seem like it can. Neutral, we can profiling. Yeah, that'll work. And then everyone else is gonna just finish off that guy's right arm. This is a run where we really shouldn't need egos too much. Some one-side attacks with this. Do some damage to that guy's arm. And then this should be enough to stagger. And possibly just break the arm, honestly. No. Didn't stagger it quite fast enough for that. Because she didn't stagger with the fourth coin. She staggered with a third coin, which is a little unfortunate. Well, the arm's still broken, but you know what I'm getting at. Okay, both the arms are broken. So now we just gotta beat you up. Oh, you're actually attacking for once, but it changed your pace. Or you get that. And we'll just one-side attack this guy, and he should die. Maybe we one-side attack him with Intergate Elbow Strike too. Safety. And you can clash against this guy, sure, with your neutral. I just want to make sure this guy dies. I hate clashing against the big snake guy because its rolls often lie with its negative coins. So I'd really just want to make sure he's dead without needing clash much at all. Yeah, no clashing required. And he's won his clash anyways. But now we gotta deal with this guy, so it's still gonna be like 2 more turns. We've got to break his arm. Gloom Resonance. We get something when we Gloom Resonance, right? Thanks to this. Yeah, 2 offense level up to all allies. That's cool. It won't make a difference here because like this guy's, there's no chance this guy's arm survives. But this amount of attacks headed directly towards him. Yeah. Little overkill. But now we can just do the exact same thing this turn and he dies.
순식간에 끝내죠.
Staggered and broken, so we're just killing you. You take 50% more damage in your second form thanks to the self-fragile you apply. And down it goes, thanks to Heathcliff. Works pretty well. It is funny seeing this particular loading background with like the green swamp. Now that we have a better sense of exactly how Q Corp is gonna work, being like sectioned off into various types of waters, which is very interesting, that's for sure. Very exciting too. It gives a lot of, it makes it so there's a lot of room for variety in Canto 5. Like we know like the first like area, we seem to go from like the green like murky crab water, and we seem to go into like calmer waters, like actual normal water for a little bit. And then afterwards we're going into that like very, that kind of like aqua type, or aqua doesn't work because that's also water, like it's like teal maybe. Not good. You shield, then you can discard, gain a little bit of something. That'll work. Alien, it's got like those like, it's got like the giant monsters like fish corpses. And there are a bunch of other various colored waters too. Like we could even see red water in 4.5, just in the background. And it looked like it was just like a weird like visual thing, but it actually was for a purpose, which is very funny to think about. It makes me wonder if they're going to do something different for the actual like main thing. Like, is it all going to be a dungeon effectively? Is it going to be broken into like dungeon type movement? Like where you're going to have to move around different like waters from the very start instead of like... That could be interesting. I don't know if they would, but there's definitely a lot of different ways they can go about the actual like level select for Canto 5 if it's going to be a little bit more open world, the exploration, like Wind Waker. But awesome.
그냥 눈에 보이는 거 다 박살내면 되는 거지?
When we do eventually get like a dream open world exploration type game from Project Moon, which theoretically could happen eventually, but I'm definitely not gonna bet on it. At least not anytime soon. Hey, Ram Shake these guys, kill them. Yeah. That'll mean that U Corp would be a very fun place to actually be able to explore if you can just, you know, pirate ship your way around, go through all sorts of like perils. Be cool. Okay, Rhyme Shank just straight up killed these guys. Yeah. We were gonna lose a bunch of clashes to them. I figured we might as well pop an ego here. We shouldn't need more than that. It's only one person left now, and they're almost staggered. They've been staggered by the moth. Alright, that works then. And stand off. Indeed. Stand off, go off. Then, Crossroad Man. This does literally nothing for us, but I think if we choose the other option, we might get a negative effect. I don't remember. That's fine. Gregor skill. Sure, we can take the contract. I like the contract. And we can give Gregor another skill 3. That'll work. It's not another skill 3 for Ishmael, but I guess it's close enough. We can just go like this and then don't have too much longer. Ooh, very long legs. That should be fine. He's not very menacing. None of the bosses are really menacing in Kanto 2. Or in Mirror Dungeon 2, not Kanto 2. Not to say that Kanto 2 bosses are menacing. I do really miss Baba Yaga. At least... I don't know. I thought it was a fun fight. I understand it being long and, like, a little annoying in that regard, but, like, it was also really cool. It was a very different type of challenge. Since it was about, like, an actual, like, battle against a multitude of opponents. There are definitely a lot of other strategies that worked really well against Baba Yaga. Stuff like Impending Day, and how it could pretty semi-consistently one-shot them. And then you'd get a bunch of resources, you'd be able to basically heal itself. Or, like, you know, Heathcliff Body Sack before it got nerfed. Or you could just kind of beat up a bunch of guys, keep on getting a bunch of kills, buffing Heathcliff insane levels, and keep on having him use Body Sack to keep it up. That was cool. Cool, these guys are dying. Is that cool? I'd say so. Yes, Inner Elbow Strike, one of the many Ishmael has on her at all times. Because Ishmael's like, she's physically out of skill 1s, yeah. She's got 4 skill 3s and 2 skill 2s. Which means no more, what is it? It's called Red Kick despite being Lust, right? That's her skill 1. I remember that it being something like that. Just bothers me because that's not the color it is. It's an orange attack called Red Kit. It's like the blunt attack called Slash. Oh sure, more charge synergy. Riveting stuff. Nah. Actually we should have because it's burn synergy. Yeah, we really should have. Oh well. I decided against it because I think it's one of the ones that debuffs you, like gives you 5 burn next fight or something. And heal. We don't actually want to heal, so we leave. And here we go. Heathcliff's taking some damage. We can make him take more damage. Not a bad idea. Just let him get staggered a little bit. Oh no, he's healed up to almost full already. Yeah, that's right. Well, you can clash there. You can clash one of those. Favored, that'll work. Neutrals, ooh. Weight of knowledge, that works. Select target, that works, and that's a neutral. We'll select this and then we'll redirect it with weight of knowledge. That'll work, I think. Yeah, 2 dominating is favored neutral. And there's not really a need to go for any of the other body parts right now. I'm sure there's like a benefit, but the left arm's the one that's attacking, so I just want to hit it a bunch. If we break it, it gets -2 attack power to all its attacks. Which kind of just makes it so it's going to be super easy to beat its future clashes. Especially since, like, there's always, like, 3 attacks at least coming from the arm, I feel. Sometimes more. Like, first turn is 4. And now you're still going for 2 attacks, which is not exactly what I said as my number prediction, but, that's enough. Dominating. And then we just have everyone else keep on going for the arm. Because the arm is weak to everything thanks to it being broken. So we might just straight up kill here. And I guess the only reason we did so much damage is because we got the contract, but contract isn't great against this guy. His arm's got very little HP. It's only got 200, so contract only did like 67 damage. Certainly isn't the best. We're hitting him with a bunch of stuff that's reducing his defense level though. So we should just kill. Oh yeah, especially with like flexible suppression. Yeah. Very easy fight. No egos required to get a 2-turn kill when we're using a bunch of the strongest identities in the game. You did the most. It's because you had multiple speed dice. Makes sense. He had the least. It's funny given the fact that, you know, Rodian was added second floor. She wasn't there for the first turn, which is when you get a lot of, like, free damage. And we didn't do a lot of fights first floor, though, so maybe that's not a fair comparison to make. There we go. More levels. 675. It's definitely raising, and at pretty quick speeds. We get another module. I've been definitely stockpiling my modules recently. It's all thanks to the fact I just always spend a couple lunacy each day just to get even more modules, because I like having a big number. It's more important to me than the lunacy is. Because I usually just buy things through. I don't really need to do the actual fractions too much. I've got enough boxes to be set most of the time. Put into context, the last time I actually, like, didn't have, like, the last identity I didn't get day one was 7 Otis. I feel like I mentioned this earlier, or, like, not earlier, but the other day. But, like, I've gotten every single identity, like, either day one or, like, within a day. Other than... I guess also Gross Hammer Mersault, it took me, like, a couple days, but I got it from a daily pull. The 7 Otis took a couple weeks, and I got it at her on a random daily pull afterwards. But otherwise, like, I've always been set thanks to just my boxes. How is my box number looking? 281. Not bad. I spent a couple recently because I somehow did not get Rodion from the actual banner. But I got 2 3-stars from her banner, but neither of them were Rodion. That's how luck goes sometimes. But yeah, that'll be all for this time. Make sure to leave your ideas for various runs for the future in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!